Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to this Free for All Friday Pride of Dakota edition. I am Kelly Wald from the North Dakota Department of Agriculture. Goodness. And on our board is our wonderful producer, Jim Walsh. How are you doing today, Jim?
Not too bad. My allergies have kind of gone into
full force mode?
Well, they're kind of going into submission for the time being.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's one of those things that comes along with this nice weather we're enjoying.
Right.
You got any fun plans for the weekend?
Well, Mother's Day, Sunday with the wife.
Yes.
Brunch somewhere.
That sounds wonderful.
There's a lot of course, we have a website where we have all that information, supertalk1270.com.
Yes. Check it out, folks. So if you want to listen to the show online or find replays of the podcast, you can visit, just like Jim mentioned, supertalk1270.com, or you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/supertalk1270. Well, today I'm so excited. We have with us in the studio Pride of Dakota member Cheryl Woodcock, who is owner of Farmer Tillie's Homemade Dog Treats up by Baldwin. We'll be chatting with her in just a bit, but before we talk to Cheryl, let's talk a little bit about what's going on with Pride of Dakota in the Ag Department. Well, we're kind of coming up on our busy season now that summer is upon us. We have our next event coming up is our annual Pride of Dakota Day, which is up at the North Dakota State Fair on Monday, July 24th. We're up in the festival tent up there from 11 to 5. You can come and shop from about 30 different Pride of Dakota members. And we will also have a lunch going on. For just $1, you can get a hot dog and chips and then a carton of milk that are all donated by our awesome Pride of Dakota members, Cloverdale, Dean Foods, Panagold, and Northern Plains Potato Growers. And the proceeds from that event do go to the North Dakota FFA Foundation for all the awesome work that they do during the year. So you can stop by. We will have a meat snack stick judging contest that afternoon then, and also a Pride of Dakota, North Dakota Foods contest. So you can come for lunch, do some shopping, go check out some other stuff at the fair, and then come back for our contest later that afternoon. Again, that'll be Monday, July 24th, and you can find details about that on our website, which is prideofdakota.com. The next thing we've got coming up after that is Pride of Dakota Day at the state capitol. That will be Thursday, September 14th, where we will be indoors on the west end of the ground floor and then up on the first floor by Memorial and Legislative Halls. You can come shopping from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. that day. There'll be about 50 different Pride of Dakota members there with all kinds of stuff to smell and sample and touch and feel and try on. And then there's also going to be a farmer's market going on at the capitol that day out on the south lawn there, just in front of the capitol. You can come up for lunch, buy some awesome produce and things like that grown right here in North Dakota, and have a fun day. And then our showcase season gets in swing. We kick off out in Dickinson with our annual Harvest Showcase, which is September 16th and 17th at the West River Ice Center. We're out there Saturday and Sunday. It's a great event to come kind of get warmed up for our holiday showcases, which are always a little bit larger events, but it's a fun fall-time event. Check it out. Details are on our website there. And then our holiday showcases get underway. We start up in Grand Forks at the Alara Center November 4th and 5th. That's a Saturday and Sunday. And then we go down to, or over to Minot the next weekend, which is the 11th and 12th. There we're at the North Dakota State Fair Center. And then the following weekend, we head over to Fargo, where we are at the Shields Arena November 17th through the 19th. That is the first of our 3-day shows. We kick off on Friday evening that week and then go through Sunday. And then we wrap up the weekend after Thanksgiving here in Bismarck at the Event Center, December 1st through the 3rd. That is also a 3-day show. Our admission for those events are $2. However, if you bring your own reusable cloth shopping bag, you can save $1 on admission. And also, if you are an active or retired member of the military or a family member of the military, you can save $1 on admission. So you can, lots of ways to save a couple bucks on admission. Well, and if you're looking for more details on those events, you can check out our website again, which is prideofdakota.com. And with that, I'm so excited. With us today in the studio, we have Cheryl Woodcock, who is the owner of Farmer Tillie's Homemade Dog Treats up by Baldwin. How are you doing today, Cheryl?
I'm doing excellent.
Good. You've had quite an eventful last 12 hours, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
Goodness, yeah. We Cheryl had an issue. She had appendicitis, so she was
emergency surgery last night.
Yeah, and here she is. I show up at the studio this morning. She's telling me all about it, and she looks great. I would have never even known. But yeah, I'm so glad you're doing okay, and glad to see you this morning.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in. So Cheryl, why don't you tell us just kind of a little bit about yourself and your background?
Well, my husband calls me an animal addict. I have a lot of animals, and dogs are one of my favorites. I decided to come up with a dog treat business when I got 2 baby Scotty dogs for a birthday gift one year, and didn't like what I was finding out on the market with all the preservatives and additives and things. So I started doing a little research, came up with my own recipes, and I had to then check and see if all other dogs like these treats. Then it was figuring out how to preserve them without preservatives, which I basically bake and then dehydrate them. And then it was finding good packaging, which was kind of a challenge. I've changed a few different times, but I've come to my nice red bags now that I really like. So
Yeah, and they're like a zipper top, right?
Yep.
So they seal in the freshness of them and
Yep.
can keep them for a while. That's really cool. So your testing process, like, what was that like?
well, first I tested on my own dogs after I baked them, and then I hit up all the neighbors and relatives.
Bet nobody turned you away, huh?
No, they all said their dogs really liked them. So then I thought, well, if they really like them, why not start selling them?
Yeah, that's awesome. So, like, what kinds of I guess, treats do you offer?
Well, I have a wide variety. The first year I started with a variety pack, which was there was, I call them my regular treats because that was just my first bag or my first kind. There's milk and honey, peanut butter banana, and cheesy garlic, and they're all a wheat-based treat. And then I started having people say, well, my dog can't have wheat. What have you got? Oh. So then the next year I started coming up with rice treats, which I had a treat called Sensitive Tummy, which has got carob crunchies, which, because I'm a chocoholic, carob is a natural, with no caffeine, chocolate.
Oh.
So I can, animals are safe with that. So, of course, I had to have a chocolate.
So it's the caffeine in the chocolate that...
Yep.
And I always wondered, because, they say dogs aren't supposed to have chocolate, but I never understood
rapid
why.
heartbeat, and they can stroke out or have heart attacks.
Oh, my word.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in that bag, there's the carob crunchies, apple cinnamon bites, and peanut butter bites. But then I had somebody say, well, my dog, my family is allergic to peanuts.
Oh.
So then I had to come up with a different kind, which I call rice and flax, and basically it's apple and carrot with flax in it, which flax is really good for their coat and their skin.
Okay. And you just kind of determined all that by, like, different research you had done online? And
just adding and subtracting different, and it was all a matter of, okay, so I add this to it, and then I have to see if it's going to bake right or if it's going to hold, because like the rice treats, I use a cookie press to do. My wheat treats, I have cookie cutters. Ah. So the wheat, with the rice treats, when using the cookie press, I had to see if they were going to stay together when I put them out there and when I baked them and how they were going to dry, and it's a lot of process. But I have a bunch of different kinds, like, I've gotten into complex carbs, which are good for hunting dogs. Oh. And pumpkin, I've gone into using pumpkin, and oatmeal honey biscotti, which actually is really good with a cup of coffee.
Oh my gosh. Well, we are going to talk more about that. We have to take a couple-minute break, but hang tight, folks. We will be back in just a few.
Right Now 65.
On Twitter, Facebook, online, and YouTube. supertalk1270.com.
Well, hello again, and welcome back to this Free For All Friday, Pride of Dakota edition. Today with us in the studio, we have Cheryl Woodcock, who is owner of Farmer Tillie's Homemade Dog Treats, which we were just talking about before our break. Oh, my word, and my stomach's growling. All of these ingredients that you're using, they sound wonderful. And I had asked her, do you ever just sit down and have a treat with your dog? And absolutely, because they're all totally safe, normal foods that humans eat, too. And why wouldn't you feed that to your pets?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's basically why I started doing it.
To get away from all you said.
Well, yeah, you look at some of those labels on treats, and you don't even know what some of that stuff is. You got to Google it to find out what it is.
Yeah.
Mine's all right there.
Yeah. When you had mentioned, too, that you were starting to get into, like, formulating different types of treats for the type of dog. Like, you had mentioned hunting dogs.
Yep.
Are there, like, what types of things are ingredients that you use for those?
The complex carb treats have apples in them and sweet potatoes, but it's mostly an egg and oatmeal treat.
So for that,
and
like,
there's
protein and fiber.
Right, and just because the oatmeal will stay with them longer, give them a little more energy. There's some wheat in it, but not a whole lot.
Sure. Well, and it's really cool, like, local connection. So you actually get some of your ingredients from local here in North Dakota.
The farmer I get my wheat from is down by Flasher. And he, I think he's a Pride of Dakota member too, Gartner Seed.
Yes, he is, yeah.
So I get my wheat from him, And then the rice, of course, I have to buy. So I buy that at Sam's Club. We use our own eggs from our own chickens. And my husband grinds all the grains into flour for me.
Okay, so like because you had mentioned you use flax in some of your stuff too. Is that like the flax seed, or do you actually grind it up too?
No, I actually buy the flax seed and grind it up, and it's usually from a North Dakota producer.
Sure, yeah, lots of flax in the state. Very cool. So we were talking during the break too a little bit. Like, you are such a busy lady. You always got something going on because you have a full-time job here in Bismarck, and so this is a side business that you do in all of your time. But so, and along with the business, you've got other. I mean, you actually have a farm. You've got animals, and that you're taking care of and running around after. So is it just you and your husband that are working on the farm?
Well, we have a 20-year-old son that lives at home yet, and he is also part owner of some of the sheep and some of the parrots. So he.
Did you just say parrots?
Parrots, yes.
You have parrots.
I kind of get into rescuing animals, which is why I have so many. Some of my sheep actually came from a place up by Williston.
Okay.
They were a rescue. Most of my cats are rescued from the pound. I have 4 of my 6 dogs are rescues.
Wow.
And I have 6 birds, and only 1 I purchased. The rest are all rescues.
No kidding. Wow, what a big heart for animals. Oh, that's awesome. What a very cool story, and to kind of like build your company on.
Yeah, so animals are my major priority. I mean, besides my family, animals are my love.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I have a stressful day at work, my thing is to come home and go down to the barn.
Yeah.
That de-stresses me right there.
Yeah. And so you had joined Pride of Dakota back in 2005. So when did you actually get started with the business side of things?
I started coming up with the business idea in 2002 and started my experimenting. And KT Animal was actually the first place I sold them at in a store.
Okay.
And he kind of helped me figure out that I needed to, have a label and registered with the state so that the state could come and check it, and I had to have an insurance policy.
Sure.
So he was very helpful in getting me going as far as what I needed to get going.
So if somebody is looking for the dog treats, where are there locations here in town they can find them?
There are. I have them in Bismarck, they're at KT Animal. They're also at the Bisman Food Co-op and ND Embroidery and Gifts.
Awesome. And he just recently relocated. He's over now, I think it's on East Rosser?
No, he's actually at Maine. And he sold the
Is it
business.
Maine? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking ND Embroidery and Gifts.
Yeah,
He
ND
had
Embroidery.
moved.
Yeah, he's over on Rosser.
Okay.
In the Polar Package Plaza.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, so if you're looking for their store, you can head over to the east side of town. And you had mentioned, too, that you have a birthday cake now for
Yes, I do. It is actually like a doggy Rice Krispie bar made with peanut butter and honey, and that's in the middle of the cake. I have little springform pans, and then around the outside of the cake are peanut butter treats that are shaped like a doggy bone, and then on top is the decoration for it's just a flat. I actually get my decorations at Magic Candle Cakery. She prints them off, and then I put them on.
I may be calling you for my own birthday cake, because that sounds wonderful.
It is really good.
So what would you say are some of the most popular items that you make on the dog treat side?
The regular treats and the oatmeal honey biscotti and the pumpkin kisses are the most popular of what I sell. I usually sell out of those at every show.
Yeah. So do you ever get custom requests from people?
Yes, I do. I will actually, if your dog has specific allergies that they can show me, I will create a treat for their dog not using those things that they're allergic to. I will come up with one. I actually had a dog that was allergic to rice and allergic to a lot of the more common things. And so I had to come up with a different idea. I think that one I used spelt flour.
Okay.
So it depends on if your dog has a specific allergy problem, and a lot of times you can take them to the vet and they do blood testing
to
find out what they're allergic to.
How you'd find out. Okay.
But if they know what their dog's allergic to and I don't offer it, I can custom make something.
Do you then kind of take that custom piece and then turn it into an additional product
I do
line?
sometimes, because I do have a new product out that I'm just getting started on, and I call them coconut crunchies. And they are actually made with coconut flour. There's no eggs, no gluten, no protein. So it's basically just like a coconut macaroon kind of. They're little round chunks, and they're kind of expensive because they're expensive to make,
Right.
but they're something that a dog who has a lot of food allergies or people who don't want to feed their dog a grain can get them for their dog.
So, like with the dogs, is it more common that it's like a certain breed that doesn't handle a specific ingredient well, or it just depends on the dog?
No, it depends on the dog, and some of the more common things that dogs are allergic to are the wheat, the corns, and like meat products, like chicken and beef, because that's so common. So some of the dogs that have a lot of bad allergies will have to go like lamb and rice, or salmon and potato, or salmon and sweet potato, or venison and sweet potato, something like that.
So when a dog has an allergy, do they like handle it is their body react the same way a human body
I
would
actually
react? Is that how you find out?
Well, I actually have a Newfoundland at home who has an allergy, but it's more seasonal or environmental. So she actually gets an allergy pill every day, and sometimes I give her honey in her food, which helps with the allergies because she gets really goopy eye. And so I give her honey in her food, and that seems to help clear it up.
That's really interesting. I'm learning so much. I love it. And so, but that's not the only thing you offer. You don't just offer dog treats. You also have different accessories that people can buy for their pets.
I make dog scarves with embroidered sayings on them, and that's real popular. One of them, one of the popular ones is "Beware, dog can't hold its liquor." L-I-C-K-E-R.
Oh, that's very clever.
And then I make critter hats for kids. Basically, they're just a really cool hood-type hat with ears on them. And if somebody wants one to look like a panda bear, I would make it black and white. If they want to look like a fox, I would make it red. I kind of do more basic so that they're for everybody, but yeah.
That's really cool.
And I started that because my granddaughters, their mommy saw it on Pinterest and really wanted them to have a hat like that. And I said, I can make those. So I made up my own pattern. They started wearing them. Then their friends started wanting them. So that's kind of how I got into doing those.
How did that? So with back to the dog scarves, what kind of like material is that made out of?
It's a cotton. Just a cotton half scarf that I embroider on. And they can just tie it around their dog's neck.
And is that something, too, where people can like request a custom type of embroidery?
Yep, because I've done some for like furry friends. I did a couple of different designs for on their Adopt Me days.
Oh, yeah. That's really cool. So are those products available? Where can people find those?
Well, those are basically online or at shows. I don't really have those in. I don't think I have them in any of the stores. I pretty much stick with the dog treats in the stores.
Sure. So what is your website if people are interested in going on to find out?
It is farmertillies.com.
And it's Tillie's Tillies.
Yep, and all lowercase.
And you do have a Facebook page as well,
I do.
correct?
And that is also Farmer Tillie's. It's just Farmer Tillie.
Yeah.
Look up Farmer Tillie.
If you are near a computer or have your phone with you, hop online and check those out. She's got great pictures of the products. And you can, like you said, you can buy the treats there. You can buy the pet scarves there too. And so these critter hats that you make, they're kind of like a one size fits all, or are they?
Nope, I actually have for 1 to 3 or 4 to 7 ages.
And it's got they're so adorable. You have to check out the pictures. It's got ears, so it's like a hood that you pull on over your head, and then.
And the thing I think is nice is it keeps their necks warm. And everything. So when the little kids don't want to zip their coats up all the way, it keeps their necks warm.
Yeah, and what 2-year-old keeps a scarf on their neck? I mean, honestly, it's perfect. It's just a little hat, and then their face is still exposed, so it's not like the face masks where it's traditionally up and just your eyes are poking out, and you breathe and your glasses fog up.
I know, right?
North Dakota winter problems.
Yeah.
And you said those are also available on your
website. Yep.
And what type of material are those made
That's
out of?
just an acrylic yarn that I use. Yeah.
Weave it? Or
no, it's some I buy.
Oh, okay.
It's a yarn that I buy, and then I crochet it.
Crochet the hat.
Those are crocheted.
Awesome. Well, perfect. We are going to take a quick break, so hang tight, and we will be back in just a few with Cheryl Woodcock, owner of Farmer Tillie's Homemade Dog Treats.
Right now, 65.
Weekends with Twilight Zone Radio on Super Talk 1270.
Well, welcome back to this Free For All Friday, Pride of Dakota edition. I'm Kelly Wald from the North Dakota Department of Agriculture. If you want to listen to the show online or find replays of the podcast, you can visit the website, which is supertalk1270.com, or you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/supertalk1270. Today we have with us, we were chatting just a bit ago with Cheryl Woodcock, who is the owner of Farmer Tillie's Homemade Dog Treats. We were talking about the awesome dog treats and the different accessories and critter hats that you offer, and people can buy those all online. And if you're just tuning in or if you missed it earlier, her website is farmertillies.com. So it's FARMERTILLIES.com. And she also has a Facebook page. You can jump on and check that out. But if people are listening and they're thinking, oh, I have a pet, but he has an issue like an allergy, and I wonder if she can make me a custom treat. How can people get in contact with you?
You can get in contact with me on my website, on Facebook, or you can text me at 701-400-0617. You can shoot me an email at countryziggy@yahoo.com.
And Ziggy is Ziggy. Okay, so 400-0617 or countryziggy@yahoo.com. Give her a buzz. So, and you brought in the studio with you today some awesome hats. Oh my gosh, they're so soft. And this is kind of a newer product that you've gotten into.
It's something
making.
I'm just going to start having out. I've acquired a couple of alpacas, and we'll be getting some more on May 30th. And I'm going into the beanie making business, making some nice warm North Dakota alpaca beanie hats.
Yes.
And alpaca is actually softer than like cashmere or merino wool. It's stronger than sheep wool. The fiber itself is. It's hypoallergenic. There is no lanolin in it. It's not itchy, and it's water repellent and basically flame retardant.
Oh, wow. That's
so it's really a kind of
the best
and
of all fabrics.
They're super warm, much warmer than a wool hat.
Okay. Yeah, they're gorgeous too. They're these wonderful different like earth tone colors and they're none of the fabric that the wool fleece you refer to it as is dyed.
Nope, it's all natural. It's all natural colors of the alpacas, or like I have a cream-colored alpaca at home that has a couple little brown spots, and when I send that off to Dakota Fiber and Mills to get processed into yarn, she'll blend all that, so I get a little bit different color than just a cream color. Or like my other alpaca at home is kind of a reddish color, and he has a couple of little darker spots on him, so that'll turn out to be a little bit darker red.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're beautiful, and like that color scheme, honestly, you can wear it with anything. So.
Exactly, and they're reversible. So if you don't want the stripe one day, you can go with the solid.
Flip it to the inside.
Yeah.
That is really, seriously, guys, these are so soft. You have to like swing by her booth if you see her at a show.
I'll have them at the 4th of July. At the 4th of July show. I know it's kind of warm for them, but I just want people to be able to check them out. And even though it's warm out that day, you may still want to buy your winter hat.
Yeah, and like it's North Dakota. Winter is inevitable every year, so hats are always
definitely.
You can never have too many hats around.
Yeah.
So how many alpacas do you have?
I have 2. And I've purchased 2 more, and we'll probably be getting 3 to 4 more besides that. So I'll have 8 to 10 alpacas altogether.
And you were talking to, there's a gal that you get some of the fleece from, and you...
Right. She is actually my friend who lives up in Stanley. She gets her yarn processed, or she gets her fleece processed into yarns, but doesn't know how to knit or crochet. So she asks other people to knit and crochet for her. So if she sends me 12 skeins of yarn, I do 6 for her, and I get to keep 6 to do with whatever I want.
Sure. That's really cool. So, like, your farm, all of this stuff, you don't actually have, like, a store or a business front here in town. You're running off all of this operation completely off your farm.
Yep.
And it works well there with having the animals there that you're...
Yep. I built a shop a couple years ago that I do all my baking in. I do the knitting over at the house just because my husband doesn't like to sit at night by himself.
Sure.
Otherwise, I would be in my shop all the time. But I do the baking over there, all the packaging. I have a big walk-in freezer. It's actually the back of a DiGiorno truck that I store all my packaged treats in to keep them fresh.
So when you were getting started with all of this and like growing and building, were there any like programs or grants or funding that you like were able to take advantage of to help with that?
I couldn't find anything. It was called my husband. He financed my startup. Okay. And basically, he helped me buy some of the startup equipment that I needed because I have a dough press and a dough sheeter and a couple of ovens. But like when we first started, everything was in the house or in the garage. So I'd bake all my treats, get them all ready, then I'd have to carry them out to the garage and put them in the ovens out there. And finally, I just kind of outgrew that. And he said, let's put up a shop. So we did. And so everything's over there now. So it's less of a mess.
Sure.
And less storage area in the house that's taken up. Because my bedroom was basically Farmer Tillie's storage room.
Everybody's got a starting point, especially with that. It's just easier if it can be in and amongst where you are every day.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we were talking, you've got alpacas. You have like a whole myriad of animals at your place.
Yep. We have horses. I actually have 4 horses, 2 miniature donkeys. I have about 80 sheep. Besides the alpacas, we raise Scottish Highland cows. We have 20 of those, 21. And like I said, I rescue dogs and cats. So I have like 20 cats and 6 dogs right now.
Wow.
And I have chickens, and I have 6 parrots.
That is like Old MacDonald's farm. I love it. Like
it is.
Just, and some of them, like parrots, you would never expect on a farm.
And my cockatoo baby, I'm actually her 5th home. And people don't think about when they get a bird that they can live to be 30 to 80 years old, depending on the bird.
That's so long. And that's like human years?
Human years, yeah. So like my cockatoo can actually live to be 80 years old. So my 20-year-old has been told that when he inherits the house, he gets the birds too.
The bird is staying.
But she loves it when kids come out because they'll we'll put on some music and she'll bebop around and dance, and then they dance, and then she's talking to them, and they just think that's so cool.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, you had mentioned, so you actually do like farm tours.
Right. I just started that this year because people are just they have no parents or grandparents or great-grandparents on farms anymore, and they don't realize that eggs come from chickens and hamburger does not come from McDonald's. It comes from a cow. And I really think that that's an important thing kids need to know. The wool from my sheep and my alpacas goes into making clothing and, socks.
Yeah.
People don't know that anymore. So I registered with the state of North Dakota, and we had one school group come out this year.
And how did that go?
Oh, they had a blast. I got thank you notes, and their most fun was finding the chicken eggs and then running with my one dog.
Yeah. So is a setting like that, is it more suited at a certain age group of kids, or kind of
I think anybody who's interested can come out. I have some adult friends that like to come out and just hang out, just watch the animals, and maybe get spit on by an alpaca. Who knows?
So they are spitters.
They do spit. Llamas? They're not as spitty as a llama.
Okay.
And I've never, like my llama used to regurgitate and then spit. The alpacas will just kind of at you, so you might get a little bit of grass or something on you, but not as bad as a llama.
As a llama. Mm-hmm. It's so interesting, that you say, nowadays people are more and more removed from agriculture, and you think, like I grew up on a ranch and small Class B school, and so I didn't really dawn on me. I mean, you drive down the road everywhere, and there's hay bales and cows, and you just, when you're ingrained in it, you don't think like, oh yeah, some people really don't understand that the food that they get from the grocery store is actually coming from the land right outside of their door. And so I think that's awesome that you're getting involved in.
Yeah, I just think people, I want them to have the opportunity to come out and check out my cows and check out my horses and my sheep. And, baby lambs are always fun to hold, or I have a couple bottle lambs, so they're always fun to give the kids a bottle and let them bottle feed the babies. And now I've got baby chicks in my shop.
So what was you said that the dogs and the birds were the thing that kids enjoyed the most?
Well, I have 2 Newfoundlands that are very people friendly, and they were out, and the one, his name is Hobie, he's the younger of the 2. He thinks he's a people. So when the kids would go to one side of my yard, they'd all go over there, and Hobie would stand there, and they'd go, ready, set, run. And Hobie would run with them, and then they'd stop on this side, and then they'd do it back again. And he just had a blast running with them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you get any, like, really funny questions from any of the kids about the animals?
Yeah, well, I heard a lot about how it stinks because of all the manure, and I go, that's part of a farm. Mm-hmm. And they thought it was really cool that the cats got along with the birds in the barn. And
yeah, so you have all of this plethora of animals there, and they all just coexist.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's great. And so there's no, like, you have to keep these animals away from these animals. Everybody's just kind of...
No, sometimes, like, my Scotty puppy likes to chase the chickens around my silo chicken coop because it's around and around, and he just thinks it's fun, and he's not even a year old yet, so he's...
Not
the other ones are just like, whatever. No, they don't ever want to really eat them. It's more of a, can we catch you type thing. But, yeah the big dogs are pretty good about leaving them alone. I used to have a Chessie that my son and I would walk out into the pasture looking for guinea hen eggs, and he would find the eggs or the baby peeps and bring them back to me and put them in my hand.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm gonna have to stop up and visit the farm sometime. What a fun experience. Well, folks, we have to take a quick break, so hang tight, and we will be back in just a few minutes with Cheryl Woodcock, owner of Farmer Tillie's Homemade Dog Treats.
Currently 70 degrees.
Here's Sean Hannity, weekday afternoons on Super Talk 1270.
We are now in the home stretch. Thank you for hanging with us on this Friday morning for our Free For All Friday Pride of Dakota edition. Again, I'm Kelly Wald with the North Dakota Department of Agriculture, and today we've been chatting with Cheryl Woodcock, who is owner of Farmer Tillie's Homemade Dog Treats up by Baldwin. Just a reminder, Cheryl, if anybody wants to find your products, they can find them online.
Yep.
And your website. Do you want to give that to everybody one more time?
It is farmertillies.com. It's FARMER. TILLIES.com.
And she's also on Facebook, so you can find
Farmer Tillie's Homemade Dog Treats on Facebook.
Pictures of her products and all kinds of stuff there too. And if there was anybody listening who would like a custom order or wants to just place an order or even chat with you about maybe bringing a group of kids up to learn about livestock, how can they get a hold of you?
You can email me at countryziggy. That's COUNTRYZIGGY @yahoo.com. Or you can text me at 400-0617.
Awesome. So you do sell online. You have some stores here that carry your products. Is your customer base mostly local here, or do you ship out of?
I do ship out. I have a store in Minot called Gourmet Chef. They carry my stuff. In Fargo, they're at the Red Silo, and in Shields down there. We're just starting out with Shields. They're just kind of test marketing them to see how they do there.
How's that been going so far?
Well, it's been a slow year, and we didn't get into it until after Christmas because it was so busy before Christmas.
Sure. So
I'm hoping that the sales start picking up, and that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah. So, do you ever get like phone calls from people? Oh, I need to send something to my relative out of state.
Yep, I do actually. And one of my neighbors did that quite a few years. They raised dogs, and for their dogs, their grand dogs, as they called them, birthdays, they would say, I want to spend like $15 and then send it here. And that's what I would do.
Oh,
Make up little gift packages and send them off.
Yeah, so if you're looking for something, she is certainly the lady to talk to. She'll help you out there. And people can find you're generally at most of the Pride of Dakota shows.
Yep.
Are there other shows or locations people can find you?
I do the 4th of July show in Mandan, and then I do the street fair in Bismarck.
Okay. Awesome. So you're definitely around area, the town here. All right. So you just kind of talking. You were a small business owner, entrepreneur, wear many, many hats, which is always. I think that's entrepreneurs have that in common.
Yes.
Generally, they're jack of all trades.
Yes.
Yeah. So, like how you joined Pride of Dakota back in 2005. How has that kind of like influenced your business over the last 12 years?
Well, I think it's made a big improvement. The Pride of Dakota labeling itself has made a big deal with my product selling because people see that Pride of Dakota and they know that there's a certain quality and a certain standard you have to maintain to be part of Pride of Dakota. And that's really been very helpful.
Awesome. And I think too, just from, working with the Pride of Dakota program at the Ag Department, it too, I think people see that and they associate that label with a face. It's not and there are some very large successful companies that are part of Pride of Dakota, and then there are people who it's more just like it's a hobby. It wasn't ever anything they really intended to turn it into a business. So it ranges the whole gamut, but there's always that connection back to a human, that like a fellow North Dakotan. They're here, they're invested in our state, they're invested in what they're doing, and they want to do it well. So that's exactly, awesome. Yeah. And that's been built by companies like you guys. That's how that brand reputation has grown. Absolutely. And you take advantage of Facebook. Are you on any other social media sites?
I would be, but I just don't have time.
Got a little bit going on.
Just a little. And
I know we had done, it was a few years back, a podcast with you.
Yes.
So that's available on the Pride of Dakota YouTube channel. You can learn more there too. So if you're ever wanting more information there. So as far as your business goes, do you have any kind of plans for expansion or growth in the near future?
No. I would like to get my products in more stores, of course, but I'm pretty satisfied with right now. It's a hobby. I enjoy doing it. It's a lot of work, but I enjoy it. And I like hearing from people that their dogs love the treats. And so it's really satisfying to me. And it's something I can do from home and earn a little extra spending cash. And
yeah, and I think...
that would be nice if it got really big, but I'd have to retire from work. Because I wouldn't be able to do it all.
Yes.
I'd have to retire from my full-time paid job with benefits.
And right now, this is, with what you've got going on, it's manageable with your family.
Because I bake a lot on the weekends. And then, right before a show, of course, I'm probably packaging every night, but... Yeah, I get my baking done mostly on weekends and on any holiday that I have off.
Sure. Well, and that's a great testament too. If you're listening and you've got a hobby that you're interested in, or just a side gig that you're doing, you can certainly do that too, and maintain a full-time job if that's the situation that you're in, and you want to do that, or you need to do that. It's definitely how most people get started with their businesses. Right. They don't just cut off their ties with everything they've got going on.
Yeah. And I'm the kind of person that doesn't sit still well. So I always have to be busy doing something. And so it just kind of fills in all my gaps. That's why I get into making the hats. I can do that in the evenings and take care of my animals and go to work all day. And this past winter, I was making the hats with the ponytail holes in.
Oh, yeah.
And while I'd be waiting for a tow truck to come and tow a vehicle that needed to be towed, I would be crocheting.
That's awesome. So what would you say in this whole experience has been the most rewarding part of being a small business owner?
Just the pride. I love the pride that people associate me with Farmer Tillie's homemade dog treats, and that they love my products.
Awesome.
That really is worth it to me.
Awesome. And what about, would you say, has been the most challenging aspect of this whole adventure?
Trying to get them in different stores and markets. It's been a little challenging there. If I had more time, I probably would do more store visits.
Sure.
But I don't have that kind of time, so I do a lot of phone calls and internet. And I think if I could present my things in person, it would probably be a little easier, but
sure,
it's all right.
But it sounds like you're happy and you're fulfilled with what you're doing, and that's super important.
And my dogs totally clean up the floor. If I spill a little flour, they're thinking it's got to be good, so they lick up the floor. So
who needs a Roomba?
I know, right?
So if you had one piece of advice for somebody who's maybe listening and is wondering, oh, should I do it? Should I try? Should I see where this goes? What would you say to them?
First of all, start with Pride of Dakota. Get into Pride of Dakota shows, because basically, if you've got a product you believe in and you go and get into Pride of Dakota shows, it's awesome. Because you guys do the advertising, you've got the brand. We just come in and sell our stuff, and people come for North Dakota products.
They do. It's awesome.
Yeah, and that's a great way to get started.
Yeah, and like Cheryl mentioned, if you're looking for information about the Pride of Dakota program, you can check out our website. It's prideofdakota.com. We have a Facebook page. You can message us there, or message us via Twitter, call our office. We are certainly available and interested in helping you get started. So just a quick reminder for everybody listening, we do have a number of different Pride of Dakota events coming up this year. Our next one is Pride of Dakota Day up at the North Dakota State Fair. That is going to be Monday, July 24th. We are over under the festival tent down by the camper area there. So if you're up in Minot that day, come up, check us out. We'll be there from 11 to 5. We do have lunch that day as well. For $1, you can get a hot dog, chips, and a carton of milk, and that proceeds from that go to the North Dakota FFA Foundation. Or if you are in the Bismarck-Mandan area on Thursday, September 14th, we are having another Pride of Dakota Day at the state capitol. We'll have about 50 different companies there, and there will be a farmer's market out front on the south lawn. You can stop up, enjoy some lunch, and just kind of enjoy a nice day outside. And then we head over to Dickinson for our Harvest Showcase, which is September 16th and 17th. And then we head up to Grand Forks for our first holiday showcase, November 4th through the 5th. The weekend after that, we are in Minot, November 11th through the 12th. Then we head over to Fargo, November 17th through the 19th. And we wrap up back in Bismarck, December 1st through the 3rd. If you are ever looking for more information, you can check out prideofdakota.com or find our Facebook page. If you've got a hobby and you're looking to get started with a business, feel free to give us a call, message us. We'd love to chat with you and see if there's some way we can help you, make that decision as to whether or not you want to get started as a business, and help connect you with those resources and the people and the programs and the funding that might be available out there. There's lots of different entities and state programs that offer resources to business owners. So yes, please give us a call. Check out our website if you're ever looking for more information. And thank you so much for hanging out with us today on this Free for All Friday, Pride of Dakota edition. Everybody, I hope you have a wonderful and safe weekend.